Hey everybody, it's Jeff Short with CHAUVET DJ, coming to you live from our headquarters here in Sunrise, Florida, for our very first virtual streaming CHAUVET DJ Electro Voice Roadshow. Just like all of you out there, this is the way we have to do things a little bit and adapt to the situation. But on behalf of all of us at CHAUVET DJ and EV, we're glad to be here with you tonight, and thank you for joining us for this roadshow. Tonight we were supposed to be in Denver, Colorado, but plans changed, and we're glad that everybody in Denver can still join us tonight, as well as everybody from around the world too. So just like any other roadshow, we got some exciting product information for you, and we've got giveaways. We're going to get into that in 1 second, but it's important that you know, on behalf of all of us, both at CHAUVET DJ and EV, we hope from the bottom of our hearts that you are healthy and safe, and we've just been so inspired by your creativity and entrepreneurship during this crisis that has really encouraged us to know that if that is any indication, we know that the future for special events, mobile entertainment, lighting, sound is going to be bigger and brighter and stronger than ever, thanks to everything that you all are doing. And we're happy to be a partner with you in doing it. So tonight, it's not about buy this product or buy this or spend this money. Tonight, the product information we want to share with you is meant to inspire some ideas, to encourage the stuff that you're doing from streaming in your home studios and small gatherings and things like that, to keep going, and that when we do recover, you'll be able to take some of this information and help your businesses grow even more. So, speaking of giveaways, we're going to give away Electro Voice microphones. We're going to give away a Wash FX2 tonight, just by doing a code, entering a code. When I give you the cue, the code tonight is sanitizer. If you enter that into the comments in this recording, then what we can do is, it's almost like a must be present to win situation for these giveaways. We'll know you're watching, we'll know you're with us, and so when I give you the cue, enter in the word sanitizer, and we will randomly pick a winner each time we do a giveaway tonight. So stay with us, and let's get this thing kicked off the right way with talking about one of our flagship families of products that really has some groundbreaking technology built in, and I'm talking about Freedom Technology. So let's get into it with somebody who knows more about it than anybody I know. Let's get started. Hey Rick, what's happening?
Oh, hey Jeff, how you doing?
I'm great. Normally I would shake your hand, but in these times
Yeah,
we're
we
just
can do the
going
elbow
to, that's
bump.
right, we're going to keep it safe. So I'm here with Rick Peoples, product manager for CHAUVET DJ, and a good place to start is here with the Freedom family, because we know that so many people these days are doing sort of online DJ parties remotely. We're doing streaming broadcasts. And when it comes to versatility and convenience and portability, the Freedom family is a great option for those type of applications. Any battery-powered lighting, really. But these are the ones we have in front of us. This is CHAUVET DJ, so we want to share this information with you guys, so when you're involved in these sort of new applications that we really haven't tried before, there's some great options here. So starting on this end, I guess, what are we talking about here with the Freedom Flex?
The Freedom Flex is the latest in the Freedom line. This has an interchangeable battery, so you don't actually have to plug these in. It's a battery pack that is removable. Drop it in the charger, put it back in. These are also IP54 rated, so you can completely use them outside. Cast aluminum housing. You guys have seen me drop these 1,000 times. This is the most rugged par can we have in our market. This is the flagship of the Freedom line. Full hex diodes in it. Comes in a road case of 6. Charging blocks in there. Just drop your 6 batteries in. These batteries are also available sold separately, not from our parts department, so you can pick up extra batteries like you would for a power tool, and you can have 12 in your fixture or 6 in your fixtures and another 6 charging ready to go for long gigs. But right now we're doing our home gigs and whatever else you guys are doing. Go to our website, show us what you guys are actually doing at home in these crazy times that we're going through.
Yeah, they really are.
And some of the things that I do see DJs are thinking out of the box. Like, where can you use trust that you wouldn't normally think of?
Exactly. And I think the thing too is, with these sort of streaming DJ parties that are happening right now, a nice wash up against a wall if you have a home studio where you're streaming video content yourselves, you want to make sure that that environment is somehow warmed up by a little bit of color wash, and battery powered fixtures are a great way to go. You got a little one here though.
Yeah, I think this is perfect for that particular, hey, I'm doing a home broadcast right now. If you're doing home broadcast just to keep your skills sharp, just to keep your mind off the what's going on, broadcasting live to make other people smile, add these little guys. You have a little area to work with. You can use these, make it look like a big, beautiful show. If you already own them, whip them out, charge them up, use them. This is the H1, another Freedom fixture. This also has a hex chip in it, so you get 73 trillion colors. A nice little gel ring on top, so you can put a gel sheet in, magnetically gets held in place. A magnet in the bottom. These stick anywhere, on anything, metal that is. So your aluminum truss is not going to be too good. You can use these to highlight yourself while you're DJing your mix and broadcasting.
And I think the critical thing about the Freedom line is, and I don't even know if we mentioned this because we sort of take it for granted ourselves, is that all of the Freedom products, as diverse as they are, all have that same DeFi transceiver technology built right into them. So they're not only battery powered fixtures, but they can send and receive wireless DMX signal. This is great technology because whether you're talking about the Freedom H4, the Freedom Flex H4, the Freedom H1, or something completely different like the Freedom Gobo IP, it's all the same technology and they all talk to each other, which is really convenient, but even more so, we know that money is tight now. We know that the landscape has changed. So if you already have products that are Freedom based, these can talk with them. You don't have to buy new gear, or if you wanted to buy a new product, you didn't have to get rid of all the stuff that you already have. They will all talk to each other, so you can keep your existing gear the way it is. And even if you don't buy new stuff, this technology really talking to each other is important to know about, because it really is economic and convenient in these weird times that we're in.
And we're going to bounce back from this, guys. I know we might be eating ramen noodles for a little bit, the way gigs are canceling. What you need to do is get with your clients that want to cancel, do the best to postpone that date, keep the deposit, keep your spirits up, more importantly, because when this comes back, everybody's going to be eager to get out of that house they've been locked in. They're going to be eager to throw a party. They're going to be eager to hire a DJ. Everybody's going to be booming again. With the little money they got, they're going to be anxious to spend it to get out of the house. So just keep those hopes up, keep doing the things you're doing, and get ready, because you're going to be overbooked. I feel this in my heart, that when this all is over, you're going to need, and that would be a great thing.
And that is a great thing, and I totally agree with you, Rick, and that's why we're doing this virtual road show now, because it's not just about what we have to adapt to now. It's like you said, we're coming back to a bigger, brighter, stronger future. So you're going to be armed with some information, hopefully, from a lot of different people in this industry that's going to help you once this thing bounces back. So let's keep talking about Freedom. And as I brought up, this is the Freedom Gobo IP.
As Jeff mentioned earlier, all Freedom products are 100% wireless. They don't need a power cord because they contain a battery, and they have built-in wireless DMX. This one is also IP54 rated. This is a Gobo projector. It takes an E-size Gobo, nice zoom range right on top. You can use this in the rain. Now with the offset in the schedule that we're seeing now, everything being pushed, hopefully, and it looks like we will be doing a lot of things that we would normally be doing in spring are going to be happening in the summer months. So for those outside guys, monograms, Gobos, this is the one. And I will tell you, it has a magnetic Gobo holder. So if you think it's going to rain, instead of mounting it in the conventional format that you see with the zoom knobs up, go ahead and mount it upside down. As you can see, the Gobo holder will not fall out because it is magnetically held into the fixture. And now your knobs are not facing that rain that will be coming down and dripping into your optics. Now, you're not going to get perfect results in any rainstorm with an IP fixture, especially a Gobo projector where you want a crisp image, because just like rain hitting your windshield, it's going to do some things to it. But you can pour water all over this. It's not going to hurt it. And it's ready to go to the beach with you. Dump it in some sand, you're fine.
In case you guys missed it, Rick and I did a recent product spotlight educational video about IP technology in general, where we talked about this and the different IP ratings and what those numbers mean and what actually happens to a fixture once water hits it or gets into it. And the Freedom Gobo IP is no different. Water can get into the fixture. The great thing to know about that is it will do no damage to that fixture. We got a new fixture here, the Freedom Psych. Rick, tell us about that.
Okay, another family of our Freedom line. Again, this one 100% wireless, so I'll skip through that real quick. Solid, rugged aluminum housing. You guys know about that. Freedom line is famous for it. What we have here is a psych light. If you're in theater, you'll know what this is. If you're a mobile DJ, you might not quite grasp it. This is a very wide wash light. It's really made to be set a few feet away from the wall to illuminate it. This thing has incredible color mixing. When you put yellow on this and put it right next to a wall, any of you that got hex fixtures or other fixtures, you know red and green to make yellow. When you get it close to the wall, you see those artifacts. This will give you a yellow output. This also has preset cool white and warm white color temperatures into it. So if you're doing at home, if you're webcamming right now, you can get that color temperature that you need with a high CRI to light yourself up for a good presence on your video camera.
Yeah, and you can kind of see when you see them compared to each other, the kind of stark differences in the format of the lights. They're both wash lights, obviously, but completely different forms and completely different effects. This one has such a wide beam angle and such superior color mixing in general that for those psych applications or just wide wash applications, again, for home studios now, perfect application for that.
And you know, in regular weddings, when we get back to that, one thing I like about the psych is in most of the rooms I deal with, there's some kind of architecture, a pole or a stripe up the wall, where I'm normally dropping my main uplighting, and I'm creating the striped room. I like to use these as fill in between. I can give a gentle contrasting color, I can keep the room the same color, and I can really make that room look incredible with a wide wash and then that peak wash that goes all the way to the ceiling. These really work great together.
Absolutely.
Also, if you're a stage guy and you need these can run powered on. You can actually plug them in. It's the only chargeable fixture we have that's actually designed to run on electrical if you want it to. And you'll get about 30% brightness increase out of it when it's run on mains. That way, if you're doing a theatrical production, these stay in place for a week. You don't have to tear them down and charge them. You can leave them set up where they need to be and run
That's
on
great.
for that.
Absolutely.
And I know you use that because you do a lot of acting.
Absolutely. We use them on stage a lot. We like the battery-powered portability, especially when you're using them on set pieces that might be moving across the stage. Perfect application because you're not worried about power cables and things like that. But as you said, if they're stationary, plug them in. You get, with the Freedom Psych, like you said, about 30% more brightness out of them. It's important to note, too, that some of these fixtures do come in white. So as we talked about, when event season does come back and events start to happen again, you may want to consider white fixtures as well. The Freedom H1 does come in white as well. These are just a few representative samples of the Freedom line. It's a very wide and diverse line, as most of you already know. We also need to kind of address a little bit different ways that these things can talk to each other. What is a typical setup in terms, we know that they can send and receive wireless signal, but how? What do we need to do that? Because we've heard things like DeFi hubs and FlareCon Air. If I have a laptop or a hardware controller, then what do I do?
Well, if you have we'll go with the laptop controller.
Okay.
We'll use, for example, our Show Express, but this can be any laptop controller that uses a dongle that you plug an XLR cable into that transmits DMX to your fixtures. So we could take here, we have the Show Express 1024. We hook that up to our laptop via the USB, take Universe 1 out, and we can go straight to a DeFi hub. What this does is it takes the DMX signal and turns it into our wireless DeFi signal. Now you have an entire universe of DMX traveling through the air wirelessly at 2.4 gigahertz. any Freedom unit, we can go to the display and we can set whatever channel we want it to receive on, and then set the DMX address. And now we can do a whole rig, at least one universe per box. You can do multiple universes. I've done 4 for the flag video, the Freedom Sticks. And now you can control all these devices wirelessly from your computer or any other console controller, an Obey 40, for example, anything like that. If you really don't have that, or you don't want to DMX, pretty much every Freedom will come in an IRC6 remote. You have the ability then to set one unit, usually the one that's closest to you so you can get that IR at it, as the master and transmit its signal to all the other units in the room. So you can just point the IRC6 at the one light, get it to do what you want, the rest of them will follow along, including sound mode and all the auto programs.
So that's kind of the basic level without any cabling whatsoever or any interfaces at all.
None, no DMX knowledge at all. It sets up in a second that way.
Fantastic. That's excellent. So as we said, we've talked about Freedoms for years. We've talked about the technology. There's a wealth of resources at CHAUVETDJ.com about these products and how they talk to each other. Also check out our YouTube channel that's got a ton of resources regarding Freedoms and how to set them up. So there's lots to check out about the Freedom line. Again, these are just the latest and greatest, but as you guys are getting so creative about broadcasting from home, streaming live, streaming DJ parties, think battery-powered convenience, think versatility and portability and convenience, and think about how important it is that you don't have to change your existing inventory and invest in more stuff. This stuff will all talk to each other, and that is the power of it. So Rick, thanks for walking us through that. We got lots more to talk about at the Roadshow this day, guys. Thank you for being with us. Right now, let's check out some products from our partners over at EV. EV going strong as they always do. But you know what I've been seeing a lot of lately, Rick? I've been seeing a lot of like musical combos, not even bands, because again, we're supposed to be distancing a little bit, but duos, trios from a living room or even a closed cafe, if they happen to know somebody who owns a place like that are doing streaming concerts and music, and a lot of musicians from their home. And I think that this line of Bluetooth compatible fixtures is perfect for stuff like that, because that's what it was designed for smaller spaces, for ultra convenient operation right from the touch of a button. And we have got some here to share with you, so keep that in mind as time goes on and you look to light these type of applications. Bluetooth fixtures are perfect for that kind of a thing. Up top here, these first ones are all battery powered, and then we've got our original line of Bluetooth ones that are standard powered with standard cables. But Rick, what are we looking at here?
We have the EZLink up on top. These are all EZLinks. When you say EZLink, to compare it to Freedom, the EZLink system is going to be all battery powered, so you recharge them, you don't need a power cable to run them, and it will have the built-in Bluetooth technology. So this unit, and it doesn't need a third piece of hardware, like the Flarecon or a DeFi hub in between. All it needs is your iPad, your tablet, your phone. Turn the lights on, set them around the room, they pair up, and you're in control. And like Jeff said, this is geared for those guitar players, singers that are doing solos on stage, the duos, the trios.
They got their hands full with other things.
Yeah, totally. I can't play guitar worth a darn. Right. And musicians can do magic with their guitar. However, DMX is strange to them, and while I'm proficient in DMX, I can't even tune his guitar. Right. So this is absolutely perfect because you don't need to know anything about DMX. All you have to do is be able to flip a switch. We already know they can do that because they got amps and foot pedals and things, and turn on their phone that we already know that you use. I see you use it when you're singing with your set list and your songs, and it's right there on the stand right in front of you. This can be right there on the stand, the touch of a button. We even have a wireless foot switch so the guitar players using both their hands don't have to fumble with their fingers to change the lighting look going on. These are the simplest lights we have to set up and operate. They're also very economical. If you don't want to deal with DMX at all, this is the place to go. If you're not ready for DMX, this is the place to go. And if you're a one-man operation playing your guitar or a duo, totally the place to go. And to bear in mind what I've been seeing on Facebook with the people doing concerts from somebody's bedroom in lieu of being at the bar that they would normally be at. These are easy to carry. They're very light. They set up in seconds and break down. They can do that whole show for you. Really bring the ambiance up, transfer that to the screen, immerse the person on the other side of that screen in your music. Give them that peace of mind, that happiness that they're watching you for.
Absolutely. And I think that there's different formats, of course. Like this is the EZLink PAR Q4 BT. So let's talk a little bit about the nomenclature, first of all. As Rick said, when you see EZ, that means in CHAUVET DJ speak battery powered. So this is the EZLink, and this is a PAR fixture. Q, it's quad colored, red, green, blue, and amber. 4, it's got 4 LEDs, and BT, of course, Bluetooth. Now, the important thing to remember with these is that, of course, they're equipped with Bluetooth, but you don't have to use Bluetooth. They're great standard PARs, just as you normally think of them. In other words, PARs like this have DMX in, DMX out. They have power linking. So they have auto programs and static colors in them. So whether or not you use Bluetooth at all, they're fantastic wash lights and PAR fixtures and effect lights. I noticed that the housing on these is plastic. Rick, tell people why they're plastic.
It's the Bluetooth technology. Because of the problems of transmitting Bluetooth, a large portion of this housing has to be plastic for that signal to actually get to your phone and work properly. The downside of BT is I have to use a lot of plastic. It's also a little bit more latency involved in it.
It's a good point you bring up about the latency, because I always tell people with Bluetooth that we try to manage expectations, not based on the products or the fixtures, but based on the Bluetooth technology itself, because some people will try to use them in very large venues, and when you press a button with BT Air, which is the free app that it communicates with these lights, I can press, for instance, if I'm on a fixed color, that's blue, and if I switch the color over here to this sort of pink or fuchsia or whatever you call that color, and I hit that, they all change at the same time because of the proximity of the phone and the lights. But in a huge venue, you might get a little staggered effect. So they might not all switch colors at the same time. And that's just nature of the technology itself. And so they're perfect for those smaller rooms and smaller spaces. Again, when you want to expand the reach and expand the control, then you're probably graduating to a different product and different DMX technology. Again, keep in mind, if you use DMX control, you can use it on all of these products. You don't have to use them with Bluetooth. The Bluetooth is an added benefit. And again, the top 3, this is the EZLink, these battery powered ones are all quad colored. So you got the EZLink Strip Q6 BT. So obviously a linear strip light with 6 quad color LEDs. That's the EZLink PAR Q6 BT, PAR format, 6 quad color LEDs. And this is also a PAR, but this is meant to sit flat on a floor, so more for maybe wash or uplighting application. This is the EZLink PAR Q4 BT. Now you might have noticed this one here that's not even on. I didn't turn it on, but this is also a Bluetooth compatible fixture. This little bad boy is called the EZLink PAR Q1 BT. So again, battery powered, 1 quad color LED, completely Bluetooth compatible. This one does not have DMX in and DMX out, obviously, because of the form factor of the size of them. But again, magnetic base, great for pin spotting, sticking somewhere, anywhere you need it. So great for those home studio uses as well. That's the EZLink PAR Q1 BT.
You know, Jeff, I want to go back to this for a minute, because I can think that some of our people watching out there are going to be going, well, I have a lot of PAR cans and I'd really like to get into BT, but I don't want to go reinvest in a whole mess of PAR cans.
Sure.
Now, with any of the ones that actually have the XLR connectors inside, you could cable out of this BT unit into a slim PAR, and whatever you do to this light via BT will be communicated via the cable into the slim PAR. If you cable this out to a Freedom PAR, it would do that, and now from the Freedom PAR you could wirelessly transmit DeFi to other lights. So if you just have a bunch of PARs and you'd like, you know, have variable setups where you do a lot of some gigs that are really small, you don't need the arsenal, this would be perfect for you, but you don't want to invest in a set just for that, go out and buy one or two and cable out to what you do have to bring to that.
And this is a great time to experiment with gear, because obviously you never want to get out on a gig in a live situation and try something new.
Correct.
That is a no-no, of course. So what better time to kind of experiment with hookups like that, to take a Bluetooth fixture, be able to control it from your phone and control other fixtures that are not Bluetooth compatible. So that's a great point. Down here, we have the conventionally powered Bluetooth fixtures. We have the Slim PAR Q12 BT, quad colored. This is the Color Band Q3 BT. And this is the, what is this? This is Slim PAR T12 BT. This is the tri-colored 12 LED Bluetooth fixture. Again, DMX in, DMX out. Bluetooth compatible, great wash lights, no matter if you're using Bluetooth or not. But I did want to just take a second to kind of just look at a little bit of what BT Air can do as well. Because as we talked about, it's a great time to experiment with different hookups and different gear. And BT Air is a great way to do that because it's absolutely free. So this is not going to cost you anything to experiment. The app is called BT Air, available on iOS and Android devices, phones, tablets, you name it. Download it, and it will automatically pair when you tell it to start pairing with whatever Bluetooth fixtures might be in the vicinity of the phone. It's important to know you cannot pair these fixtures through the Bluetooth settings on your device. A lot of people try to do that and it won't work. You can only pair through BT Air, the pairing option through the app. So, but once you do, I can see that my fixtures are identified here on the screen, and now I've got along the right side of the left side of the application some presets. Right now I've got it on a fixed color. I've also can do a fade, and I can adjust the speed of that fade so that they're kind of scrolling through the colors. I've got pulses. I can change the colors at any time. I can scroll through colors. I can change the strobe rate of them as well. So really convenient, versatile things right from the touch of a button. But the great part about it is I can save these scenes. I can create a scene, save it, and I recall it later. So again, it's powerful, but we often hear, well, you know, I would like to save multiple scenes, or I'd like to go in and edit scenes, or I'd like to do things like that. Keep in mind, this technology, BT Air and Bluetooth lighting, is designed for smaller spaces and for people who aren't interested in DMX control.
Right, the people who are asking what you just stated about saving programs and altering programs, you are the people that are ready to move to DMX if you haven't already. You're ready to take that next step into total control of DMX. And while we're on this education thing, because that's probably one of the better things we're doing with our time right here today, is I get a lot of questions, both FlareCon and that come across the CHAUVET DJ users group, about the color wheel on BT Air. We're holding quad fixtures and talking about a lot of quad fixtures here. They bring up the color wheel and they see that amber doesn't respond. And this is the same with the FlareCon. It's because these algorithms are only designed for RGB. You can spend thousands of dollars on a big controller that has a color wheel, and you're going to have to bring up amber, white, and UV manually via a slider because the algorithm doesn't exist. So you can set your color with the color wheel, and then if you want to amber it up, grab that slide manually and amber it up. If you want just amber, you black out via the color wheel and then slide your amber up, and that will give you the amber color. And that works both for BT air as well as FlareCon air.
And that's a good point too, is that you may have a combination of quad color and tricolor lights. If you were to select a scene or a color that has amber in it, the tricolor lights are not going to respond because they don't have amber and the light doesn't know what to do with that command. So if you're noticing that your light is not responding, check your color wheel and check what color you actually have selected versus what the light is actually designed to do. So that's another thing to keep in mind. But in general, what a perfect application for convenience and ease of use and versatility, especially in these home studios, and for you musicians out there that are wanting to add some colorful flavor to your performances, both live and streaming, check out Bluetooth. But right now, let's check out some EV. This is the line that we call Eve. It's got Fresnels, ellipsoidals, pars. And so Rick, tell us a little bit about what we're looking at here.
Yeah, these are part of our crossover line or our event line. So these are going to be higher quality fixtures. These are going to be, unfortunately, a little higher price point fixtures, but you do get what you pay for in a lot of things. These are all going to be MET certified, so you can put these into a new installation. We'll be getting back to those, trust me on this. So the small houses of worship, the smaller theaters and things, these are all perfect lights for that. They're perfect lights for the high-end pro DJ who wants a serious par can for serious needs. If you need to do a black light party, we have one for that. And I guess I'll just start at the top here and go here, because you brought up these guys working from their home studios. And I hope a lot of you guys actually make a revenue stream doing that. So keep it up, see what happens. Maybe you'll want to do that more. If you do, you move into the Eve F50Z, which is a Fresnel. This is a studio light. It has a 93 CRI, really high. 50 watt adjustable zoom, comes with barn doors. This is absolutely perfect for lighting you and your area up, or if you're doing a talk show like a lot of the DJs are doing now. They're getting together with their buddies and actually talking about the industry and what things they can do and how to handle this situation. Perfect for lighting your tables up and doing the talks on that. Great for small churches and theaters. When we go to the big Eve gun, the Eve 100, this is a ellipsoidal. It has a standard size Gobo in it. It also has framing shutters. All these guys have dual accessory slots, so you can put barn doors and gel holders in it since they are only white light. If you want to add color, you can. Again, MET, nice big zoom ranges on all these. One of our best sellers is the Eve 50Z. It's the same as the 100. It's only 50 watts versus 100 watts. It's the same 3500K color temperature. So when you use them together, they perfectly match. A little lower price point. The 50Z is also available in white for wedding season. It's a great ellipsoidal, perfect to have around the house.
The great thing about those two, Rick, is that the kind of dual purpose. So not only a great spotlight, but a great Gobo projector. And Adrian, if you'll kind of zoom over to that, you can see that the Eve E50Z is projecting that Chauvet DJ logo. I know we got some shadows on the screen, but it's really these are powerful Gobo projectors. They do have the Gobo holders right in them, so easy to change in and change out. And with the, as Rick said, you got the adjustable framing shutters. So whether you're just spotting somebody or whether you're actually doing Gobo projection, really versatile fixtures.
And it's a dual Gobo holder, so you can put a steel and glass Gobo in the Gobo slot simultaneously to give you great breakup effects and pattern and textures if you're wanting to use multiples and do a whole wall. Par cans, everybody has par cans. Everybody needs good par cans. We have an assortment pack in the Eve par line. We actually have 4 down here. They all are die-cast aluminum, all fanless, all dual accessory slots, so you can put a gel frame, a barn door, a snoot, whatever you'd like on the front. All cast aluminum durable housings, MET rated.
PowerCon connections.
PowerCon connections. All of them come with magnetic removable lenses. So you can change the beam angle just by popping off a lens from ultra wide to down to 25, depending on what light you have there. Usually 2 filters in the box. All these guys run about 25, 35, and 50 until we get down to this side, the Eve 100 WW. Now, even though this is a single color white light, this is probably my favorite Eve par in the line. It is a vicious warm white par with a great cob chip into it. It's a fantastic light. If you need one color of white light, this is the light to get. It also features the DeFi USB slot, so with the plug-in of the DeFi stick, you can actually make this receive wirelessly and not have to run a DMX cable to it. 100 watts, pure 3500K white light, very high CRI for great color and rendering. Of course, we're going to keep it this way. Next to that, I have the Eve 150 UV. This is a UV cannon. This is the biggest one we have in the DJ line. It goes down to 395 nanometers, so it does dive into the true UV spectrum. And if you're doing putt-putt golf, if you're an installer, trampoline parks, things like that, spin groups, exercise equipment, you can use these in there. The companies will still warranty the equipment. If you get to some of those more theatrical-based black lights that drop down to 365 nanometers, where you don't know the light's on because it's truly black light, the companies will not warranty their equipment due to the amount of UV coming out. So these are just cannons for UV. Blacklight parties, these are the ones to go. Again, they also come with the magnetic lenses, so you can go from really concentrating that black light to really spreading it out and getting a killer look if your party's geared for black light. We have a variable white. It's amber, warm white, and cool white, a 3-in-1, 140 watt. Same as the others with the lens pack on it. This gives you variable color temperatures from about 2700K up to over 6500K and everything you want in between. Our most popular variable white fixture since we've come out with variable white is right here, the Eve 140. And last and certainly not least, the one that started it all off was the Eve Par 130 RGB. The simple RGB fixture, red, blue, and green. The color mixing on this is so intensely wonderful. I actually added preset colors. If you look in the CHAUVET catalog, you'll see everything that's tri. Usually basically has 7 built-in colors. This one has like 19 built-in colors, and you're capable of doing so much more with it because it mixes so well. Like I was talking in our other segment about the Psych mixing yellow. When you turn red and green on this, it shoots yellow. It gives you that look of a single lens par, not a multi-lens par, which is the new style. It makes it look kind of retro with the single light. A fantastic, excellent color mix. And all sorts to it when you're running it on without a cable.
So powerful products that are great for things like broadcast. And speaking of these applications, you know, you brought up things like smaller houses of worship and smaller theaters. We want to know what you guys are doing in new and creative ways that you might not have gotten involved in before all this craziness happened. So be sure and share that with us, because we want to highlight you and your companies. Our whole agenda is to help your businesses grow through lighting. So share with us by all means, because we want to promote you, your businesses, and the ways that you are continuing to entertain even now. So please do share that with us. Put it in the comments right now as we're broadcasting. Speaking of that, Rick, it's time for us to give away a light. So what we're going to do is, as I mentioned at the beginning, the code for this Roadshow is sanitizer. If you are watching right now, enter in the code sanitizer in the comments. We're going to randomly pick one, and we're going to give you a new Wash FX2 brand new, right in the box, powerful fixture. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit, but giveaways are still happening even while we're streaming. Enter in the code sanitizer and we're going to randomly pick a winner out of those comments. And hopefully, good luck. You guys are going to be the lucky winners. Let's go over to EV right now. Thanks, guys. Now, we've been looking at this big wall here behind us the whole time, and this is made up of Vivid panels. So this is the Vivid video panel system, and the Vivids come in a pack of 4 and in a road case along with all the cabling that you need. It does require a driver, which is sold separately, but let's get into this a little bit. Rick, what are we looking at here?
What we have here is an 8x2 configuration of the Vivid panels. These panels come in a pack of 4 in a road case with every cable that you need. It's not sold a la carte. Your power cables are included, your Ethernet cables are included, a great road case to haul them around is included, all in one price. We have the lowest per square meter price of any of our competitors on the market. Other people will sell this to you a la carte. You're going to buy each panel. Hey, then you got to put it in something because they are kind of delicate. Then you have to buy a road case. Oh, would you like to get power to that? Well, here's your power cord for an additional cost. That's all included in one easy to roll into your truck package. Now, right now, if you got these, they're probably hanging in your living room and you're using them as a large screen TV. Unfortunately, you got no basketball to watch for a little bit. But we have a 1,000 nit panel. This is an indoor rated panel. I have used these outside in tiki hut environments, in parks during the daytime. They're not in direct sunlight. I do run it 100% out there, but when the sun goes down, these things kick butt. I have to drop the output on this wall down to 20% when I'm inside a dark room, or it is too blinding. So don't be afraid to use it outside under some protection, so if it rains, you don't worry about it, and not in direct sunlight. Not too much overpowers the sun until you get to the Pro line. And as any of you that's come to a Roadshow before, I have told you that I am able to set up this wall by myself. So you don't need a big crew. The hardest thing to do is get it in and out of your truck. I can get a case of panels without the rig bars, I might add, out of a truck and into a truck myself. The rig bars are the steel across the top that's actually holding it. If you take them out or only put one per case to spread out the weight, I can still do it. But hanging a wall, tearing down the wall, I can do it by myself. And a 5x3 is what I normally run, and that's about 45 minutes to an hour of me not rushing to get it done. It's a real quick and simple teardown.
Because each panel is light and has handles, and they're easy to
and they have
together.
magnets, which it's magic, these magnets. Once you get the rig bars and shackles hung, they have magnets, so do the panels. I simply go one arm, one of the panels up. They only weigh about 26 pounds a piece. Once the pins lock in, the magnets take over, and I can actually let go of that panel. It will not fall. And that's not the way it's staying, but it now gives me both hands to quick lock the fasteners, and I can make sure, as I'm assembling my wall, that all the surfaces stay smooth. Very important when you're building your video wall. You don't want where they meet up to stick out. It'll stand out like a sore thumb when you're out in the crowd. For setup, teardown, it's a breeze. It's economical, and as you can see, we call them Vivid for a reason.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the driver. So what is the driver that's needed, and what kind of video sources can you use with this thing?
Well, you can use your laptop if you want, Jeff. You do need a driver. You don't have to use a particular, we have multiple flavors here at CHAUVET. We have the Vivid Drive 28N in the DJ line, and then the Pro division has more. This all depends on how big of a video wall you are going to use. The more pixels, or if you happen to have a 2 mil wall, you're going to need more pixels per driver. You're going to need a bigger driver. But any Novastar driver will run this wall. That's just to set it up, just to scale it, makes it real simple and easy. The CHAUVET 28N takes the guesswork out of it. All I have to do is tell it how many panels wide it is, how many columns are going long, press the button, and it will scale my video automatically.
And so you can use video right off of YouTube for that.
You could.
I mean, any sort of source that you're
could.
feeding into this. And I think that's the great thing about the 28N is the variety of inputs that it has. So, and the variety of sources you can use with it. And the backlit lights in dark environments makes it easy to control. And in fact, you don't even need a laptop if you're using the 28N.
No, it has multiple inputs. You could have a DVD player if you wanted to. For the old people, a VHS if you wanted to. It's not really a good switcher unit because it's not a switcher, but you can switch back and forth between your different inputs on the screen. You can also have the ability to do picture-in-picture, all kinds of control from the driver screen itself.
Really ultra convenient, and when you add that to the fact that it comes in a case by itself, I mean, you're off and running. And even a single case of 4 makes a fantastic DJ facade, you know, and that we see a lot of people using them that way as well. So this is the Vivid 4 video panel system, and again, lightweight, convenient, goes up really easily, that takes the guesswork, as you said, out of setting up video wall, because it can be a mystery to some people. But Rick, thanks for that kind of overview on the Vivids. Lots more at CHAUVETDJ.com. Let's check out some EV. Thanks again, friends at EV. Again, if you're not checking out the Electro Voice products, you need to be doing that because they are fantastic. Rick, let's give something away. It's time again for another giveaway. So let's do another Wash FX2 for those of you that are tuned in right now. Enter in the code word sanitizer in the comments, and we will randomly pick another winner for a fantastic new light. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for joining EV on this virtual streaming roadshow. And we have to talk a little bit about some of the effects we have too, because we're excited about these, and we've seen so many creative uses for the effects in your home studios and in different applications during these different times right now, that these are some ideas that might get your wheels turning as well. Starting right here, we have, this is called the Obsession, and it's a Gobo projector effect light. Rick, tell us a little bit about the Obsession.
The Obsession is, we brought it back. This is an old school effect light. We've done a few different versions of this over the time. And now with the evolution of LEDs becoming more powerful, more lumens per watt, our learning ability to learn how to make lenses to go in front of LEDs, which is completely different than a single source light bulb. We decided to bring this back. We know that you DJs out there are facing a bunch of common problems when we are working, as that haze is no longer allowed in a lot of the venues that we go into and we fight to have haze.
It's a big challenge, yeah.
So regular beams and things like that just don't work well. Ending up with just random dots on your dance floor isn't really that good. So this is a Gobo flower effect. It's an old school effect. It has a Gobo wheel and a separate color wheel in it, so you can make this whatever color you want out of the 910 available colors in it. It's a 60 watt cold white LED. So this is a single color white LED going through a color wheel like a moving head, through a Gobo wheel like a moving head, and shot into a mirror with a bunch of different mirrors on that dish. So you get multiple images. It puts Gobos all over your dance floor. You can aim it where you want to be. So it's a great effect without haze, and if you add haze to it, you get some wonderful beams out of it too.
And that's the cool thing. It's really a unique effect. So it's not just a moonflower, it's not just a Gobo. It kind of puts those two together and creates some really interesting visual effects that are great with or without fog. But speaking of moving heads, you kind of brought that up. This little bad boy is the Intimidator Spot 260, and it's a powerful, compact moving head. Just like the Freedom line that we went over earlier, the Intimidator line is a very wide line of powerful moving heads, from very small to very large, all of which have great feature sets. This one is a 75-watt LED with PowerCon connections in and out, DMX in and out, totem mode. It's got the LCD display, so easy to navigate. And I think the greatest part about this, other than its brightness and those features I just mentioned, is the compact size when you're on the road, you know, doing whatever you need to do with moving heads, which again, we will all get to again very soon.
Right. And with this fixture, for those who've been DJing for a while now, you'll be familiar with our Intimidator 350. It was a workhorse. We sold it for about 7-10 years. Mm-hmm. Ridiculous sales on that unit. It was the fan favorite for a while. It was the Cadillac of the Intimidator line. It was over twice as big as this unit, weighed twice as much as this unit, and only had the output of a little bit less than this unit. It had a 75-watt LED chip, as this unit does, but because LEDs have evolved, this one's about 25% brighter than the original 350, which was a great light. People love it. People still use them. I still see them for sale on eBay for $500. Mm-hmm. It's a workhorse. Now you have that same power, the same feature set in a compact fixture. Mobile DJs, especially one-ops, you can carry 4 of these in 2 bags into your gig one time by yourself, no problem. They're so light, it doesn't matter. You can have your son come in and carry them with you. These are great for your smaller DJs. It gives you plenty of punch. You can put these together in a venue with our big 475Z. Yeah, the 475Z is going to kill it in output. You would think it would drown this out so you don't see it, but that's not the case. These guys do hold their own. You know they're there. So if you are a big op guy with a lot of big guns and you need to add a lot more volume to light to give you that real show look, go and get yourself a bunch of these. It doesn't cost a lot of money to get into them, and you're not going to lose them in your big light kit. These are absolutely fantastic. This is probably my favorite multi-purpose Intimidator that we have on the line right now.
That's the Intimidator Spot 260. Another one of my favorites is right there, the Wash FX2. Again, a very versatile and flexible fixture because it's a really super bright wash light, but also a great eye candy effect light as well. Tell us about that one.
Well, the Wash FX 2, we've had this out for a little while now. You have 18 LEDs divided into 6 banks of 3. Each one of those is pixel mappable, so to speak, so you have independent control of every zone of 3 LEDs. There's a huge number of built-in auto programs in there, and as you said, Jeff, they are ridiculously bright, so you don't need a lot of these to really get a big effect out of it. I saw one actual video where I could only see the crowd. The crowd was dancing, the DJ was doing his job, but you couldn't see the lights. I could only see the lights on the crowd. And when they panned over to the light, it was one Wash FX in auto program mode, and it made the dance floor look amazing. There was no way, and I've been in the lighting industry almost 30 years, that I knew it was one light until he panned over to it. So really, sometimes I'm amazed by our own stuff.
It's remarkable. And you know, for things like ceiling washes, you really can light up a whole large venue space with these things. They're that bright. The great thing about the Wash FX2 is it does have dimmer control on it as well, which is a great feature because they are so bright that, I mean, when you're using them in a blinder application type of effect, you know, and even when you're doing your small home studios and small broadcasts, a great wash light, but it may be too bright on its full setting. So that dimmer control is going to be really important in those applications. We have a fun effect that we want to show you right now. This is one that is sweeping the nation. And if this doesn't get your creative wheels and your sense of fun turning, then nothing will. Let's take a look at the Hurricane Bubble Haze. This is the Hurricane Bubble Haze, a haze machine, a bubble machine, both combined, an incredible piece of atmospheric equipment that just, it takes every show by storm that we show this thing at. It's amazing the attention this gets because of these haze-filled bubbles. What's this all about, Rick?
Well, this is about turning every grown human being into a kid.
Amen.
At least for a little bit. No matter where we take this, everybody's out taking selfies with it, and it doesn't matter how old or young they are, they want to play under this machine. We have a basic 3-in-1 machine, like Jeff said. It blows regular clear bubbles. It'll blow haze, so you can use it as a hazer. It's actually a very powerful hazer. And you can inject the haze into the bubbles to give you nice fog-filled bubbles. Fantastic for outdoor parties. I know there's some party people out there that only do bubble parties for kids. If you don't have one of these, you really need to get one. It has a loft fan to give you control of the bubbles. It only requires 3 DMX channels to use it, and you don't even need DMX. It has a timer control on the back, so you can set the amount of output of haze that you want, the amount of bubble time you want it to run on and off, and whether you want it to inject the bubbles with haze or not. So it's a real easy to use machine, no problems with it. It has a built-in cleaning mode. At the end of this cycle, you know, it's bubbles. Bubbles are like soap fluid. You want to clean this up. You take the bubble fluid out, fill it with regular tap water, set it to clean, and what it's going to do is it's going to run clean water through your machine to get all those parts that were getting saturated with the bubble juice off and clean before you put it in storage. It comes with 4 rubber legs, so you can see it sits easily on the floor or a totem. It also has a point in top where you can put a clamp if you want to suspend this unit.
Now, one of the things people ask about a lot is moisture and things like that. You know, obviously the physics of creating bubbles is going to create some moisture. It's something you got to keep your eye on.
Yeah, anybody that's used a bubble machine before, that's not like a bubble machine itself is a new product. Every company that I know of has been selling a bubble machine since my hair was long and brown. So it's one of those things where you use it in moderation. If you're outdoors, you can leave it run continuously, but indoors at a wedding where you can't throw rice in things anymore, this is a fantastic machine. Just mind yourself, if you guys are running cumuluses, you already probably have a towel for the little bit of moisture. Just run it conservatively and make sure you or somebody else comes out and just mops up the mess that it might make, depending on your application and how hard you're using it.
Fun stuff, because again, we know that special events are coming back big and they're coming back strong, and when they do, we want you to get inspired for some fun features like this, because the demand for your services is going to be higher than ever, and when it does, we want to be there right with you. This is the Hurricane Bubble Haze. Let's take another look at some EV gear. Well, guys, we just want to take a second to thank you so much for joining us on this first virtual streaming roadshow with CHAUVET DJ and Electro Voice. On behalf of all of us, thank you so much. We hope you got a little bit of inspiration out of the product information we've shared with you tonight. We hope you were one of the lucky winners of one of our giveaways, and we want to encourage you to keep checking back with us, because we're going to do this again, and we're going to do it even bigger and better next time. But we're learning as we go, just like all of you. And the most important thing out of all of this is to stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you for all of your inspiration and your creative outlook on how you're adapting to this whole situation. Again, all of you have been an inspiration to all of us at CHAUVET DJ and EV, and we know that the special event industry is going to come back bigger and stronger than ever, as we've been saying all night. We do have some resources we want to make you available, make you aware of. The Learning Library is a page within the DJ site, the CHAUVETDJ.com site, that is a whole list of resources of video lessons and tutorials and product information. This is a great time to beef up on your lighting education. Experiment with gear, as you talked about earlier, Rick. Different ways to connect things and control things, so that when you are ready to come back, you have a new, fresh outlook. But also, another great idea is to provide your services to other people right now who are using studios and home studios and rooms and broadcasting live streams. Take your lighting gear and your lighting knowledge to them, because that is exploding right now. Lots of people are using that technology, us included right now. So just some ideas to get you thinking, and hopefully we know we'll all get through this together stronger than ever before. So again, Rick, thank you for taking us on a virtual tour of all these products.
Thanks for having me, Jeff. And I'd just like to tell these guys out there, all those tasks that you don't want to do that you've been putting off and putting off, now's a real good time to do it. It's a time to organize those virtual crates in your DJ system that
Amen.
you've been complaining about.
Yep.
Take that out. A really great time if you're just entry level to DMX or you want added lights to your rig recently and you haven't really fit them in. This is a great time to do some programming and tweak your shows. You don't have to set it up in your house. You can use a virtualizer, do it right there on your computer. Hone your craft at that, play with DMX more. And hey, if you do have your stuff set up in your house, show us. Put a link down below.
Please do. Please do share. Again, we want to promote you and your businesses and the creativity that you're showing during this challenging and crazy time that we're in, but we're going to get through it together. So as always, I'm Jeff Short with CHAUVET DJ with Rick Peoples, and on behalf of everybody here and at EV, thank you so much for joining us. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you real soon.